for whatever reason you miss out on the session this evening, it will be posted under Canvas, or if there's something that you just need to go over again because you didn't quite hear it the first time, it's going to be posted on Canvas for you to look at later. Tonight we are primarily going through the syllabus. Yeah, Eric, it started. You're in, I see you. I muted you because you were talking. Can you hear, Eric? You can? Okay. So I'm going to share my screen really fast. And I'm going to show you some of Teams features and how to use them before we get started. So right now you guys should be seeing my screen. And we see Eric. So just heads up, there are different features on this little toolbar that's on your screen. Right here you have your camera video feature. I'd like for you guys to have that on at some point during each session, just so that I know that you're actually there and you're not goofing off somewhere or messing around. You also have a mute button. Right now, all of you guys are muted. You can unmute yourselves if you have a question or anything else. It's right here. Right now, I have you all muted because if a whole bunch of people are unmuted at the same time, it makes a screeching noise that gets really loud, and it also causes a lot of interference. So right now, I just have you guys all muted. But if you have a question, feel free to unmute and go ahead and ask away. This is our screen sharing button. So if in the future you ever need to share your screen, which I don't know why you guys would need to do that, this is the screen share. And then over here we have some more actions that you guys shouldn't really need to know. This one is the one that's going to be big for you guys, which is your raise your hand. Occasionally I'm going to ask questions and need you guys to participate by raising and lowering your hands. See if I can get mine to lower back down now. It's slow. Very slow. Okay. And then the other really important thing for you guys is the chat function. So if you click on that box right there, your chat function opens and you can type in it. We won't be using too much of the chat function just because for some reason in Teams it doesn't let certain people type in the chat. Plus, when I'm presenting, I can't see what you're typing in there. So if you're typing a question in the chat, I won't see it, which is kind of annoying. So usually the easiest way to get a hold of me is just by unmuting and asking your question if you have one right away. And then if you click on the little people, you can see everyone who's here, which is how I took attendance at the beginning. And like I said, I'll take it again at the end of each session. My gosh, my hand does not want to lower. There we go. Okay. Any questions about Teams features before we move on? If you have a question, you can unmute and ask it.
Mine doesn't have the raise your hand option.
Okay. I have no idea why, Liliana, sorry. I will have to ask help desk. Let me make a note of that.
Okay.
It's not going to like make or break anything for you, but okay. I can ask the help desk why you don't have it, because you should. Did you check your more actions button? Just in case it's hiding.
Yeah, but it doesn't show anything.
Okay. Yeah, I'll email them tomorrow because you're not the only one that I've had questions about today. So I just have a list for them tomorrow now. Alba, did you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. I just want to make sure that my brother gets attendance as well.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. What's your brother's name again?
Daniel Gomez.
Okay. Let me do that really fast. I told you you'd have to remind me. Yeah, I got him on here.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You'll probably have to do that every week because I'm going to forget. Just heads up on that. So if there's no more questions about Teams, then we can move on to the main topic of tonight, which is going over your syllabus and some of your assignments. Does anyone have any other questions?
I had a
Yes.
question.
One at a time.
You
Sorry.
can go ahead. You can go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I don't have a raise your hand button either. Guess I'm not the only one.
I will just email help desk tomorrow overall and see if there's a reason why. It might just be that I have to unload you from Teams and load you back in, possibly.
Solid.
Thank you, Eric, for letting me know.
No problem.
Eileen, what was your question?
For mine, it wouldn't not the link that you gave me would not let me use it on my laptop, and I had trouble with this, so I had to open it on my phone, and it doesn't give me the hands or any of that, any of those settings.
On your phone, you don't have a hand option. What did your laptop have a camera or a microphone on it?
Yes, I have a MacBook.
Okay, because I'm using it on my MacBook and it works fine. Did you use the email login?
Yes, I did, but it keeps saying my password's wrong, and whenever I try doing it as a guest, it's not an option. I used my school email.
Okay. I'll take a video of me doing mine. I definitely have to write this one down because I'm going to forget this. I'll take a video of me doing mine on my MacBook and I'll send it to your email and see if there's just a step that we're missing somewhere.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Anna?
Yes, ma'am. I think the problem was because I had the same problem, and I think it's because for some reason the link didn't let me open on the app. So I have to enter like a website of the meeting, and that's when they go in straight. So I think maybe it's that there's not letting you go through the regular app that you download on the computer, but you have to enter through the Microsoft, like all Canvas, and that's when letting you do and all that stuff.
Yeah, I understand. I'll try and figure that out tomorrow and see if we can make it a little bit easier. Because I'm sure we're not the only ones that are having issues. Anything else about Teams? No. Okay. So does everyone see the PowerPoint now? Someone unmute and let me know if you can see this.
Yeah, I can see it.
Thank you, guys. We've been having a lot of different issues with Teams lately. So this morning I taught a class and for some reason it just stopped working for 5 minutes straight and we still don't know why. So just let me know if for some reason the presentation stops and there's like a blank screen because there's not supposed to be. So once again, welcome. This is Art Appreciation or Arts 1301. We went over how to use Teams. Our basic classroom expectations are pretty simple. Try and be on time, just mostly for attendance purposes, because otherwise I might accidentally forget to mark you present. And we are required to do that with the IVC courses now. Try and have your mics off when you log in. If you forget, it's okay. I'll remind you. It's not that big of a deal. Try and have your videos on at least once throughout the meeting so that I can see a person. Try and get rid of any distractions that you might have. But I understand that sometimes we're at home with kids or pets and things happen. So it's understandable. And I think all of us need some sort of an amount of grace as we're going through all of this mess right now. So I understand if for like whatever reason you have to leave and take care of a kid or someone rings the doorbell or whatever. Be alert and be ready to learn. You're probably going to want to take some notes during these. And I'm saying that because I had a lot of questions this morning in this morning's session about note taking. Yes, these presentations are available on Canvas. And yes, the recordings are also on Canvas. So if you miss something, it'll be there. Someone have a question? Yes, no. Okay, so they'll be there on Canvas if you miss something, but it's always useful, at least when I was in college and taking classes, it was useful for me to try and take some decent notes during the lectures so that I could get the main focal points of the discussions. So I would recommend trying to do that. On that note, if for whatever reason the feed breaks up and you didn't catch what I said, or if I start talking too fast and you need me to slow down, let me know, because I don't mind repeating things. So we kind of got to know some of each other during our questioning of teams earlier, but let's get to know each other a little bit better with a little self-introduction. I know a lot of your classes are asking the same questions over and over again. So in this one, we're doing something a little bit different versus me just asking your name and your major, because that doesn't really tell me who you are as a person. So instead, I'm going to ask you about your culture. Culture is really important when it comes to learning because it shapes how we learn as a person. Our backgrounds, our culture, everything about us makes us who we are, and that affects how we behave in society and how we receive certain things. So I feel like getting to know each other's cultural backgrounds is a little bit more useful, especially in an art class, than just asking your name and your major. So we're going to make a culture bubble diagram, and I made mine super fancy because I took a lot of time to do it, but you guys don't have to make yours fancy. If you just want to write down a couple of things about yourself, that's fine. I won't know. Or if you want to just draw a bubble diagram on a piece of paper, that's fine. But this is what mine looks like. So my culture bubble diagram, I'm in the center, and all of the things that make me up, which there's more than just this, but I ran out of space. All of the things that make me up and make up my culture are surrounding me. So let me move this. It's always right there. One of the things that makes up who I am is that I have a background of a middle-class white-collar family. So my mom didn't go to college. She didn't even graduate with a high school diploma. My dad did go get his bachelor's degree, and he had an office job. That shaped who I was and how I learned things. And trust me when I say it does make a big difference, because I once went to a school with a bunch of like super upper class people, and we all learned completely different. So where you're from economically definitely affects how you learn and how you receive different topics, especially in art. You're going to understand more of that later on today. Where you're from is a big influence on what makes you who you are and how you learn. So, for example, I'm from Indiana, and whenever I moved here, I didn't understand any of the Texas references, and I really didn't understand why people thought Texas was such a big deal. But that influenced how I learned, specifically in history classes. Other things that make up who I am are art history. Specifically, I love contemporary and Art Nouveau, which determines how I take in specific forms of art. There's certain kinds that I don't like and certain kinds that I do like, and that has to do with that background. Another thing that makes me who I am is traveling. Most of my friends I met in travels. A big thing for a lot of people is religion. If religion's a big influence on you, then it's probably part of your culture. Same deal with family. If you're really close to your family, or if you have a big family, that's going to influence who you are. So what you guys are going to do is I'm going to give you, until 5:56 to make your own culture bubble diagram. You can do it on paper, you can do it on a Post-it note, that's fine. And then at 5:56, we're going to share some of our culture. Any questions?
So basically, we're just following you and like
Yeah, but put in your stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a question.
I can't
What-
see what you're talking, so go ahead.
All right. What did you say India was like again?
Indiana, it's a state.
Ah.
It's in the Midwest.
Really? What's it like up there?
Cold, and there's 4 seasons, and there's water and unsweet tea. So,
Cold, huh?
yeah.
If you want to see cold, go to Russia.
Yeah, Russia is really cold.
The coldest.
Yes.
Miss, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
I'm on the road right now, and I really don't have a piece of paper or anything.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine.
Oh wait, you can't see my
Or if
face.
you can, yeah, I can't see it anyways. If you can think of a couple of things that make up who you are, and then later on we'll talk about it.
Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. I'm going to stop sharing for a second, and then I'll put it back up. One more minute. Okay, so you guys had about 5 minutes to work on that. Is there anyone that wants to volunteer and explain some of their cultural backgrounds to us and tell us what they think is important and what makes them what they are? Any volunteers? If you want to do it, just go ahead and unmute.
I can do it.
Okay.
So I am a middle-class Mexican American.
Uh-huh.
My major is computer engineering. My family is a big part of my life. I got cousins, I got brothers, sisters, nieces, and nephews. I traveled a lot for the last 3 years. So I went to Montana, Alaska, Mexico. So
Wow.
I made a lot of friends in the time that I traveled, and it was a pretty awesome thing. Now I'm back at school.
Yeah, I think some of the best friends that I ever had I met through traveling. But yeah, so your background is definitely going to influence what kinds of art you enjoy versus like some that you're not going to like because you can't relate to it as well. Which I'm in the same boat. There's some that I just can't relate to, so I don't like them. Specifically, the middle class Mexican American background. There's going to be some artworks that we in the middle class can't relate to, and some artworks that a Mexican American understands so much better than me coming from the white perspective. So you're going to find some that you understand so much better than even I do, and I teach the class. Just because you have that cultural background and that knowledge that I don't. So I appreciate you sharing. Thank you. Any other volunteers? Okay.
My name is Daniel Gomez. Mostly same thing. The only place I've traveled is Mexico. Family there as well. My major is art. I like to draw. I like to make
You're
illustrations.
an art person. Okay. You're the only person in all of my classes that's a major in art.
I like to draw. I like to do illustrations whenever I have time. And well, family is same thing. Cousins, nephews. That's all we got. Since you already mentioned most of it.
Sorry, my bad. We're siblings.
I know, it's fine. Thank you for sharing, Daniel. I appreciate that. And I'm glad I finally meet my artist. Because I don't usually, surprisingly, in art appreciation, you don't get very many art majors, even though it's a required course. It's pretty rare to find one. Anyone else want to volunteer and share before I just call on someone?
Me.
Okay.
My name is Eric Tagupa. Which Tagupa is a Hawaiian name, if anyone asks. My major is graphic design and animation. I'm from Mexico, but I grew up in America.
Uh-huh.
But I'm also a Mexican American, so that much, in case they want to ask again. Yeah, I like to draw, I like art, and I like to write.
Awesome. Yeah, I didn't know I had a graphic design artist in this class. That's good to know. I'll probably see you and Daniel around the hallways. Yeah.
That's cool.
So artists themselves, specifically like graphic design artists and people that like to draw, they usually gravitate towards certain mediums. As far as art that they appreciate, they usually like the mediums that they work in the most. Just for example, I'm in the previous photography artist's office right now, and the only books that man ever bought were about photography, and I cannot relate to that. We all have our particular preferred style and medium that we gravitate towards, and we'll see that as we go through this class.
Cool.
Anyone else want to volunteer?
Here. Let me see. Okay. My name is Anna. I'm Anna Chilcote. I'm going for sociology. My goal is get to the social worker or behavior about kids. About family, have a husband, 3-year-old kid, and a baby on the way.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a lot of things this semester. I'm from Peru, so Peruvian American, I don't know, say, yeah, I'm not a citizen yet, I'm just a resident, so I'm working towards the citizenship. I'm not a artist like pictures or photos, but I grew up with the dance and know either the, how can I say, the actual dance or, reggaeton things. No, from my country, I really was more into all the folkloric and traditional dance that we represent in my country. So I grew up in that kind of group, like making all the presentations and practical. We went to even to different countries showing all those dances, and it's my way to relax as well.
Amazing.
Religion, I transit from Catholic to non-denominational, and that was a huge, big step since Catholic for my family. They grow up in a little town that they are really concentrating cost and culture, and the same. I've been participate of that, and I will really, how to say, also around the traditional dance. So I guess that part is my side of part artist is about dancing.
Yeah, no, dance is definitely an art form. I totally agree with you on that. And that's amazing. You're really strongly connected to your cultural background ties. And that's impressive. I wish I was that connected to mine.
Yeah, I like to dance in general, but if it's something that I can represent my origins, I will do it as best that I could.
Which is amazing. I wish I could do something like that. I don't have that ability. Last one. Let's have one more. Who wants to be the lucky last person?
I can go. Okay, so my name's Lily Roberts. I'm not from this area. I'm from Amarillo, Texas. I love nature and photography. I am a middle class Mexican American. I am majoring in pre-scenography. I have a husband and a daughter and 3 puppies.
You look like you're a teacher.
I work at a school. I'm in administration.
Like you're in a classroom.
Yeah.
That was me last year, so I get it. Yeah, so we all have really different backgrounds. It sounds like the majority of us do. And because we're all so diverse, and some of us are really connected to our cultural background, some of us not so much, we should have a lot of different opinions as we're going through this course. And with art, the more opinions, the more conversation, which means the better the class. If you haven't caught on in this class, we do a lot of sharing and a lot of discussing and a lot of talking. So everyone's opinion's welcome. In fact, it's encouraged for you to participate and discuss and have your own opinions and thoughts. So if ever I or anyone else says anything in class that you don't agree with, or you see an artwork that you're like, Miss, that is stupid, then say what you think. Just make sure to say why. Make sure to back up that argument, because we're in college now and we back up our arguments. Okay, so let's keep it going with the presentation.
Sorry, I have a question. What is like music appreciation or art appreciation? Sorry.
Art appreciation is what I'm about to go over next. We're going over the course description, right? So, good job. Great segue. Perfect timing. Okay, so art appreciation is a general introduction to the visual arts. Basically, it gets you familiar with vocabulary used in the art world, as well as the different mediums used, so painting, drawing, pastels, photography, movies, the different techniques that artists use to create artwork, and their purposes for creating artwork. And you guys, as students, are going to critically interpret and evaluate those works of art within a formal cultural and historical context. What that means is you guys, by the end of this class, are going to understand what that art is made of, how they made it, why they made it, and how that relates to the time period that it was created in, or at least have a general understanding of those things. This class is pretty fast-paced because it's just a basic general introduction to the world of art, and it's kind of hard to cover that much time in just 16 weeks because we're talking about art that was created from 70,000 BCE to art that was made today. So that's a whole lot of time, a whole lot of different techniques, a whole lot of different styles, a whole lot of different people in history that we're going to be covering. So it is pretty fast paced. Did that answer your question, Jesse?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else have a question about what the course is over? So yeah, art appreciation is just a general introduction into art. That's the short and sweet answer there. You guys do have one textbook for this class, and that is the Preble's Art Forms 11th edition. There is a 12th edition. It doesn't really differ too much from the 11th edition. It just has a couple of little extra things. So if you accidentally get the 12th one, it's no big deal. Because I don't know which one's cheaper right now. So I would get the cheaper one, whichever one that is. As far as needing the textbook for this class, you will probably want it for quizzes and the final exam. Since everything is being done virtually on Canvas, that means all of your assignments are going to be done on Canvas, which in turn means that your quizzes and exams are going to be open book, open notes. So I don't see why you wouldn't want your book since it's open book, open notes. I mean, it just helps you. Plus about 20% of the quiz and exam questions come from the book versus the lectures. It's like 80-20 makeup. And I'll go over that again in a second when we talk about quizzes. Of course, do not plagiarize. Since everything is being turned in via Canvas, that means everything goes through the Turnitin like little section thing that checks for plagiarism. Every year I teach this class, somebody plagiarizes because they don't cite something and they don't quote something. They just take it out of the book word for word and put it in their papers. Please don't do that. If you don't know how to properly use quotations or cite a source, then ask me for help, go to the writing center, do something. Don't get caught plagiarizing because that means that you're going to be in trouble with the whole college and you might actually be in jeopardy of losing your college admittance. So don't do that, please. As far as grades, so there's a few things that you guys get graded on in this class. Quizzes make up 40% of your grades. The quizzes are 10 questions. There are 5 multiple choice questions on each quiz and 5 short answer questions on each quiz. Like I said, about 80% of the quiz questions come from the lectures. The other 20% come from the book. So if you do math, you can figure out what's what, because there's only 10 questions. Discussions are the other thing you're graded on. Discussions make up 15% of the class. The discussion questions that I have for you guys, I know a lot of your classes have you like comment on something and then reply to 2 other people. I don't do that. I just have you comment yours. You don't have to reply to anyone else's on the discussions unless you want to. And I'll have that in the instructions. But yeah, if you want to reply to someone else's, feel free. I don't care. But it's not part of the grade. Third thing that you're graded on is essays. Essays make up 35% of your grade. You have 2 essays in this class. Oh wait, no, this class has 3. Never mind. You have 3 essays in this class. Sorry. And then your last grade is your final exam. The final exam in this class is not cumulative. If you know what cumulative means, you're really happy right now. It is not cumulative. Okay, how to pass this class. It's pretty simple. Number 1, communicate. A lot of you have already reached out to me with questions this week, and I appreciate that. So if you ever have a question, feel free to email or contact me. If you have something that is going to prevent you from being able to do something on time or come to class, let me know. Cooperate as in please take the exams, participate in discussions, and write quality essays and complete your assignments on time. Basically do your work. That's what I mean by cooperate. And lastly, please commit. What you put into this class is what you're going to get out. So if you're putting in lazy quality work, you're probably going to get an F. If you're putting in decent work, then you're probably going to get an A or a B. That's how that works. Now, the thing that you guys are probably really, really going to care about is your course schedule. By the way, all of this information is located in the course syllabus. The syllabus can be found under the announcements page, as well as under the syllabus page and in the files on Canvas. And I can show you guys where that's at the end tonight if you're curious to see. So this is the schedule for the entire class. We have tonight, which is just a course introduction. We're just going over introductions and syllabus. Next week, we're going to do chapters 1 and 2. I typically only do 2 chapters a night just because it's a lot of information and it gets a little tedious if we do too much more. You don't technically have your first assignment until September 8th. September 8th, you guys have a quiz over chapters 1 through 4. And then on September 15th, I'm going to have you guys work on your censorship project. We will work on it in teams together just because I have a feeling there's going to be technical issues. But unfortunately, the college requires us to do at least 1 group project. Yes, that is a group project. I am so sorry. But they require us to do 1 group project in this class. And like I said, we're going to be working on it in teams together until we get everyone situated because I have a strong feeling that there's going to be technical difficulties. The censorship project details and how it's going to be graded and the requirements for it are already open in Canvas under the modules section. That project isn't due until the 25th. And it's technically, it's a slideshow presentation is all it is. And I set up your slides for you in a shared doc. But yeah, there's usually issues with that, with people not doing the work and stuff like that. Just know for the censorship project, you're grading each other on it, and that's your final grade is whatever everyone else gives you in your group averaged out. So if you don't do anything, you're probably going to fail that. That's how that usually works out. Your next big assignment, your first discussion post is on the 13th, but your next big assignment is the gallery review. The gallery review is an essay. It's a really short essay about a gallery that you visited in person. And the easiest gallery to visit in person is the one located on the Midland College campus. We do have a gallery. There's a really cool show that's about to open that has all of the Midland College professors' works in it, a lot of the OC college professor works, and a lot of the UTVB college professor works in it. So that would be a great show to see if you're free at some point. It's not open yet. They're still setting up, but it will be open, and I'll let you guys know when it does open. But it's just a short essay over visiting a gallery. If you're not super strong with writing papers, though, I would recommend you schedule an appointment with the Writing Center for that one. It is due November 27th, and I do highly, highly recommend you go see them, even if you are strong, because usually people that go and visit them get an A on the paper. At least the 3 people that have done it in the past all got A's. So yeah, I highly encourage going to see them, because November 24th is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. If you notice, we're not technically going over any chapters that evening. So all that November 24th is that I will be sitting in teams and just helping you guys work on your paper. So if you have questions or if you need me to proofread your paper, I can proofread it on November 24th. If you don't need me for anything for the gallery review, then you don't have to show up on November 24th. I'll remind you of that closer to time because I have a feeling we're all going to forget by then. Yeah, I will remind you. But that gallery review is due November 27th. And then your final exam is December 8th. It is going to be on Canvas. And once again, it is not cumulative. It's only over chapters 21 through 25 and their lectures. Any questions about any of this? That was a lot of information. So if you have a question, feel free.
I have a question. Does the art gallery have to be like, could it be like the Metropolitan Museum?
If you're gonna go in person.
What is, oh, like I did it like years ago.
Oh, no, it has to be recent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense. Okay.
Because it's going to be a paper on you're judging the gallery and its setup. So unless you have pictures and a really good memory.
Okay.
Was that going to be the gallery as a whole, or would we select one?
Judge the entire gallery for the first half of the paper and the art show overall. And then you're going to select one artwork and analyze it.
Okay.
Ma'am?
Yes.
I have a question with the November 24th in the gallery review. I don't know yet. I mean, obviously I cannot say it right now. The due date of the baby is on November 25th. And so it's going to be in that week. Obviously, it could be before or after. I don't know yet. So is any way that I can do it, or I can be advancing that work with week before and prior to that?
For sure. Of course.
And so I will have to reach out to you. Again, can you repeat where we, I mean, it's like I have to go to college and find for those pictures, or?
Yeah, so there's different galleries around Midland, Odessa. In Odessa, if that's easier, there's the Ellen Noel Art Gallery. They have, I'm holding up 2 fingers. There's 3 different shows going on at the Ellen Noel Art Gallery. You'll have to look up their hours because their hours are a little odd right now. Another gallery that's in Odessa is the UTPB Art Gallery. I don't think there's anything there right now just because they've been closed for so long. Midland College's Art Gallery, the show for that should be set up within the next week. And probably by next Tuesday it'll be ready, so I'll let you guys know. And then the other art gallery that's in Midland is the Southwest Museum of Art. So any of those count.
Okay, so like if I have time during this week, even if it's really early, I can start looking and working through it, and maybe have an advance, send an advance homework or the project.
Yeah. So right now you can go ahead, and everyone can go ahead and start looking at the different galleries around here and pick the one that they want to go to. The website shows what is on display right now. So I would go to the thing that seems most interesting. And you can go ahead and start thinking about what you're wanting to write. Yeah. And the outline on what is required for the gallery review and how it's going to be graded is already on the modules for you guys to look at. But yeah, so if you're wanting to work ahead, feel free.
Is it acceptable to do the San Antonio's museum, because my family lives in San Antonio, and we might go over to San Antonio
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
week long. So
For sure.
okay, thanks.
Anything else? Okay, then I'm going to move on, and I will go through how to find all of these things on Canvas in a second, just because I guess there's been issues today, because I've been getting a lot of questions. Evaluation of you guys. You're going to be evaluated based on your level of involvement with the course. Like I mentioned earlier, the amount of effort that you put into it is probably what you're going to get out of it. This includes attendance, participation, and completion of assignments by the due dates. Written assignments will be graded based on the level of prose, use of proper grammar, and attention to the assignment's requirements. So like I mentioned earlier, if you're not that strong of a writer, either at least have me proofread it. I would prefer if you had a appointment with the writing lab, because they're better than I am even. I get tired sometimes, although I'm not too tired this week. Group projects will be evaluated based on the level of group participation, attention to assignment requirements, and levels of topic understanding. Your only group project is your censorship project. So that's the only group one that you have to worry about. And the final exam for this course is not cumulative. However, it will be based on materials covered in the lectures and readings over chapters 21 and 21 through 25. And I just remembered that your class has a different assignment. So let me go back for a little bit. Okay, so your class also has a little presentation on November the 3rd that I forgot to mention. It's an individual presentation, and literally you're just going to pick a picture that you like out of these chapters and make a short presentation about it. That's it. And I'm pretty sure the directions for this one are up already too. Sorry, I had to backtrack. I forgot your class has one extra assignment. Okay, attendance in IVC classes. I don't have any early college, high school people in here, but I do have a couple of dual credits. So dual credit students must show themselves on camera at least once and turn in that day's class time task to be counted present. Today's class time task is a Kahoot at the end of this little presentation. And of course, if you need to reach me at all, here is my contact information. Of course, all of this is in the syllabus. My email is amcbride@midland.edu. My office location is room 195 in the Allison Fine Arts building. So in the building that has that gallery that you can go to see artworks, that one. So if you have a question for me, you can always make a pit stop and do your gallery review on the way. My room is a little difficult to find. It's at the very end of the hallway. So if you go into the Allison Fine Arts building, it's at the very end. And it's inside of an empty classroom. So yeah, I've been told I'm hard to find. My office phone is 432-685-4654. My cell phone, which is for emergencies. So like if for some reason your Teams isn't letting you on like 2 seconds before class starts or something like that. Or if you can't figure out how to turn in your assignment on Canvas and it's like due, then those are emergencies and you guys can text me or call me. That's 432-923-2880. My office hours, which are the hours that I am in the office, as well as hours that if we need to set up a Teams meeting, we can. Those are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11 to noon. Monday, Tuesday, 2 to 4, and Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. I should have specified on that. If none of those hours work for you guys, because I know I have a lot of working people in this group, just let me know and we can set up something. If for whatever reason you don't feel comfortable coming to the office, let me know and we can have a virtual meeting or we can have a phone conference, whichever you prefer. Any questions about how to get a hold of me? Okay. All right, so the last activity that we're going to do today is a Kahoot. If you know how to do a Kahoot, then great. If you don't, you're about to learn. So to play Kahoot, you go to kahoot.it and you enter in that number. This Kahoot is a combination of some basic art questions as well as just some questions over the syllabus in case we have some misconceptions pop up.
Can we download the app and do it that way as well?
If you want to, downloading the app takes a little bit longer, but yeah, you can.
I'm not able to log into that. I had to log into the meeting with my cell phone because
Okay, it's fine. Are we waiting on anyone else?
Yes, on me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find out what this.
You know, it says to put your nickname in it. I could have used my initial for it instead.
Yeah, you can put in whatever as long as it's appropriate.
Yeah, Aaron Takupa, guess what that initial is? E.T. E.T. Phone home.
Okay, now is everyone on?
No, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
Now are we good?
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. some of you fell for that trick question there. I would highly recommend that you buy the textbook just so that you'd have it for quizzes and tests. And you might want to read some of the vocabulary words in it too. So if I were to recommend anything well, overall, it's a really good textbook, so I would just read it. But if you are short on time, at least read the vocabulary words in it and their examples of the vocabulary words. So you understand those. Some of you fell for that trick too. Okay, so red, blue, and yellow are the primary colors. You get green by mixing blue and yellow. That means green is a secondary color. And black and white in art are technically not considered colors. They're shades and hues. Yeah, there is an art gallery on campus. I think I said it a dozen times. And it's a pretty nice one. Ooh, I didn't say that. So technically everyone was right because I forgot to change this from my morning class. Sorry, I just realized that when we got to that question. You guys don't have your first quiz until I believe it's October. Let me go back to that and check. Yeah, so your first quiz is not October, it's September 8th, and it will open on a Thursday and close on a Friday. Sorry about that. Everyone got that one right. Oops. Yes, Mona Lisa.
I have a Mona Lisa poster hanging in my room right now.
It's really not that impressive in person. It's kind of small, and you have to wait in a really long line to see it. It's not that great.
You know they say Mona Lisa is the most beautiful painting in the world.
Yeah, I don't agree. But yeah, we're all allowed to have our own opinions. In reality, it's super small. And yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Renaissance art anyways, and that's my own personal preference. But I'm sure, yeah, to some people it probably is the most beautiful painting in the world. Emergencies, not anytime, emergencies. Yeah, if you do all those things, you will pass. I promise. This one's a trickier one. you guys fall for that trick. So the Taj Mahal was originally built by a sultan for his most beloved wife when she died. So it is technically a tomb. She is buried in it. Yeah, you probably do need to attend the team meeting since 80% of your test material comes from the lectures. This one's a tricky one too. Yeah. So the Statue of David is a sculpture by the Renaissance artist Michelangelo. The tricky thing about it is Renaissance art is a rebirth of classical Greek and Roman ideas. So their art looks really similar to classical Greek art, but it's actually Renaissance art. So the Statue of David was made during the Renaissance era. Yeah, I have office hours every single day of the week. And if you need a different time, just let me know. Yeah, it's pretty easy to pass this class. You just have to do those simple things that I said several times. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to do today with all of you is to go through how to find stuff on Canvas. First off, I have your syllabus right here under the Welcome to Art Appreciation. It is located in Announcements, and your syllabus is right here. You just have to open it. And there it is, with all of the information that we've gone over tonight. And all of your due dates are on there. Everything's there. There's your important withdrawal dates if you might possibly need them, although I don't know why you would want them because this class is amazing. Technical support. When in doubt, go to the help desk. That help link right there. My information. And yeah, pretty much everything that you would need. The textbook is also located in the syllabus if you're wondering where the ISBN number for it is. So that's under the announcements. There's also a Teams meeting link in the announcements. You just have to click on it. And you can either download the app or use the web app. You might want to, those of you using the Mac, you might want to try each of these and figure out which one's better for you. This link that we're using right now is live. It's going to be the same one throughout the semester, so you might want to practice with it. Your assignments are here. I should switch this to student view probably. That way we would be seeing the same thing. Okay. So your assignments are here, all of your assignments for the class, everything, all in a lovely little row. But the main things you guys are going to need are right here under modules. So under modules, I always put your quizzes, the links to those, as well as the presentations and the links to those. And they will slowly be opening up as I add more in. Your censorship group project outline is already on there. I guess I didn't put the individual presentation. I need to put that one in. And your gallery report, most of you guys are really interested in your gallery report. So the guidelines and how it will be graded are already under that. And you can technically already submit that if you finish it early. So that's fine. Any other questions about things on Canvas or things that we've gone over tonight?
Yes. We will be doing this Kahoot thing every time in our meeting?
No, I don't usually do those.
Oh, thank God. No, I'm kidding. Can you imagine?
Yeah, no. That was like a one-time deal kind of thing. I usually do something called a Padlet, which is a lot easier and faster. Any other questions? No? Okay, if you guys came in late, I'm going to need you to stick around for a little bit just to make sure that I got you added in under the attendance. But if you were here at the very beginning of class at 5:30, you are done and free to go for tonight. Next week, we're going to be going over chapters 1 and 2. So please bring a notepad, something to write with, maybe pre-read chapters 1 and 2 would be a good recommendation, things like that. So once again, if you came in late, please stick around so that I can make sure that you're here. If you have any questions, you can stick around too. I'll be here for a while still. Let me get to the attendance tab. Really
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah,
Did
thanks.
Erica ever show up? Erica is here. Okay. I got your email and I just did see it, Erica. I'm sorry. I'm glad you figured out how to get on.
Well, I had to log in with my cell phone because I'm still downloading the Windows term on my laptop right now.
Oh, yeah. I've had to do that before and it sucks so much and you're stressed out about it and I totally get it, but I'm glad you made it.
I was kind of freaking out, but I figured it out on my phone, thank God.
And hopefully we can work this out better with some practice. Like I said, that link's open. So if you want to try and practice with it, there's the one on Canvas, which is different. It's a different like format than the one that I sent through the email. So you might want to try it. Let me know if it doesn't work so that I can try and figure out something to help.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Did Beyonce ever show up? No Beyonce today. Okay. Talon? Nope. No Talon. And Justa? No Justa. Okay. Everyone else, I got you.
So everybody is good to go?
I got everyone. So unless you have a question, you are good to go.
Okay. Thank you, Miss. See you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah,
Mr.
no
Brad,
worry
I
on
did
the
have-
mail. I'm used
I
to
did
it.
have a question.
Bye.
Yeah, no worry on the email. I'm used to it.
Yeah.
All right, take care.
You too. Thanks, Eric.
Ms. McBride, will all of our classroom meetings or group meetings, I guess, will they all be through Teams or will we ever have any class sessions?
Yeah. No, this semester it's all going to be through Teams, is what they decided last Thursday. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And is that for the entire campus, or is it just your class?
Now, it's certain classes. So certain classes have been deemed completely like capable of being hands off.
Mhm.
We don't need to interact with you at all, like this one. So those classes have been made into IVC classes or web classes because they're trying to keep the campus at 20% capacity right now, just to
Okay.
cut down on risks.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep.
Thanks for all your help. I'll see you next week.
Yeah. See ya.
So on Tuesdays, we would just need to log in here at 5:30.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
it's the same link. It's never going to change.
Okay. Because I missed the whole first hour of the discussion today.
Okay. So good news. I'm glad you brought that up. I recorded it.
Okay.
I will be posting it
Okay. Okay, great.
because I totally get it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Hey, Alexander, did you have a question?
Do we have to do the presentation still, or no?
What presentation?
The one you did earlier? With everybody.
Oh, no. I just wanted to make sure that I got everyone for attendance because I'm supposed to take attendance for the college. So I just want to make sure that I counted you. If you missed something in that presentation and you feel like you really, really need to go back and do it, I recorded this session and I'm going to post it probably in about 20 minutes on the Canvas webpage.
I got it all. I just wondering if we still have to do it.
No.
No? Okay. That's good. Okay.
Thanks for sticking around to make sure.
All right, thank you.
Bye.